Well, yesterday was the grand opening of Pioneer Camp here in Armenia.
The culmination of years and years and years, really 15 years of thinking and praying about a camp here in Armenia. And Armand and the lead and other leaders said, could this really happen here? I mean, is it possible that we would have a camp? And I said, everything is possible. God can do anything he wants.
Welcome to Armenia!
It was just a fantastic greeting. They rode up on bicycles carrying the Armenian flag. We got off the bus and we were greeted with traditional bread and salt. Very welcomed warmly in their culture. We danced, Armenian dances.
It's a privilege to pronounce the opening of Pioneer. For centuries, this place will be used for Armenian young people to learn and understand about the one that created this country and loves them most, and that is the God of the universe. And we will celebrate from this moment on. Thank you for being here. Let the party begin today by a ribbon cutting.
Immediately to your right is the old soccer field. This spring, with the help of our friends from the FIFA camp, their soccer grass expert will come in and put in a very large football field here. Now come to our wood shop and our metal shop, and where we'll keep our vehicles. Just take a look at the Armenian craftsmanship. This building will be here for a long time. You have great workers. You're standing in front of what we've been calling Dorm 2. There's some things that you will see here that I want to point out. Every design moment that we've spent both with engineers and architects, we want you to know this property will really lead your country in access for young people and old people with disabilities. In Young Life, worldwide movement that focuses on the young. And we don't just look for a certain group of young people. We look for every young person, every kind of young person, homeless, orphan, sick, terminally ill, kids with disabilities. Every one of those kinds of young people will be here at this camp.
And then you see these incredible buildings and you see the site and you can very clearly imagine things like a big club room being built one day, the soccer field being finished and expanded.
Several years of starting to redeem this old former Soviet youth camp. It was just magical when the buses began to come down the hill and the kids came off and their eyes got wide as they were greeted and as they looked at this beautiful place and started the best week of their lives. It was incredible.
And then, of course, you hear the voices of kids having the time of their lives, the week of their lives.
It was a holy and a historic moment, I think, for all of us that were on that property. It's not just building of the camp, it's letting the people in Armenia know that this isn't our camp. This isn't a United States Young Life camp. This is their camp. This camp belongs to them, it belongs to the people, it belongs to the community, and it belongs to the kids.
Come on, grab some dirt. Debbie, grab a little bit.
We dedicate this kitchen and this dining hall to you. And Lord, we know that in the Armenian tradition, a kitchen and a family table is not just about food. We know that it's the center, it's the heart of the family. And love is passed on from grandpas and grandmas through parents to the children. And Lord, we want that here.
Amen. Thank you. Thank Jesus.
And the centerpiece will be this cafe and allow what's very important to us in the mission, and that is places for leaders and kids to have intimate and deep conversations. And Armand, only as you know him, he started pounding on the cardboard and said, this is the place where kids will come to know Christ.
Those of you who were closest to Katie knew that this was on her heart. She knew that if you put a child before Christ at camp, then they would come to know Christ. And her vision was for this camp.
We thank you for Katie, what she meant to not only her family, but her friends all around the world, and her deep, deep love for this part of the world. And I know she's smiling down from heaven, as happy as can be, as so are you.
I want to pray for the people who are going to build the pool and be something that they feel a sense of pride in and a feeling of your love as they're doing the work. I want to pray for all of the kids who are going to come together and use this pool and in the lighter moments feel your love along with the laughter and the fun that they have as they come to know you better here.
Then we left the campus to go through some of the villages and then also ended up at a church, an old famous apostolic church in a city called Sakazor. And we were able to sit there and reflect on the history of this nation. Armenia became the first Christian nation in 301, and its history has been rich. We were able to sit in a beautiful stone church and just give thanks to God for what we saw and what we would see that evening. So we left the church after just about a 45-minute stay there, and then went to a restaurant that was out of the sun and with a nice breeze at about a 7,000-foot elevation, and we had our own little reception there once again. And three world-class musicians played 6 or 8 numbers for us, and including some songs, and it was fantastic. And then we were able to hear from Newt and Susan Crenshaw and John Brandon. And then I think the highlight of the afternoon was when we heard from 2 former DGL students who are, one is on the staff and the other works at the number 1 TV channel here in town. And Armida and Aram told us their stories about how they came to Christ in young life, what they're doing now, and the incredible impact that being DGL students had on them. And so that was the highlight of the afternoon for us. And then we had a wonderful meal together, and then went on from that restaurant back onto the camp property for a raging Young Life Club with kids that this is their first camp. And some, I imagine, have never been to a Young Life Club, and it was excellent. We ended our day after club by walking through the camp, and they turned on the field lights at the soccer field, and we all gathered and commissioned the camp and prayed for the country and villages and cities, and it was a remarkable ending to a day.
Get to the end of this road, there's a little box there with some stones in it, and if you want to, if you could just say a word of encouragement, but just something that you can throw in the river and know that that rock will be in the river forever. So as kids cross the river, they're going to have that little bit of encouragement that you left behind.
We were overwhelmed, actually, and some of us went up and prayed for the cabin times that were going on, and just stood there and looked at what God has given us, and with full and grateful hearts. And now, all of us, I think, walk back across the bridge even more committed than ever to finish the project, stay the course as God provides. It was full. All of us had full hearts, and all of us, what we saw You'll hear it time and time again. You'll know what our eyes saw and our hearts felt.
Right now, the camp's not quite 50% done. Now, it's still great enough that we've had hundreds of kids come this summer and had the best week of their lives. But we have a lot of work to do to make it even better.
Come and see, come and help us, come and be a part of our team and our family. You don't miss this. Don't miss this. Come be a part of what God's doing in this part of the world.